It was. It was awful. I was going to Rocky Peak Church back then in the San Fernando Valley and Simi Hills, close to the Simi Hills. We lived up in that area too. Nobody understood. They were like, he's such a nice guy. He's a great provider. You don't want to lose your covering, Come on, Danielle, hang in there. And so I did, and I shouldn't have. I wasted a good, 10 years that I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have believed him, but I was trying to be a Proverbs 31 woman, hanging in there. My generation, I'm Gen X, and we're supposed to hang in. So, I had met some of his family. His Aunt Dolly, she was 90, and they celebrated her 90th birthday, and we went to go see, and they were, I think, in Brentwood, California, and this was Maryland side of the family, the Chaplik side of the family, Chaplik, and they were very wealthy, and they were all successful and very, knew what they were doing, and meanwhile, it was such the opposite of what was going on with Marilyn, and Jack and their whole family. It's like everybody had to fake it. It was so weird. I hated it. So that's about the only family that I ever met, and it's just like, it was such a stark contrast, like shameful. Like, they were so ashamed because they knew that they were fronting, right? So, we had a lot of holidays together, and his mother insisted that we have every single holiday with them. We couldn't do it. We couldn't have our own. And one time that we tried, I think it was Christmas or Thanksgiving, and they were like completely blowing up his phone, my phone, the house phone. Like, if we didn't answer one phone, they would call another, and relentless. And it was terrible. And it just really messed with us, as a new couple in our new family. So, but in Jewish families, you don't get divorced. And so for me to ask for a divorce was like, really upsetting to them. I mean, his dad was already in his 80s, and his mother was in their 70s, and they were very staunch, So, but I refused to live my life like that anymore, even though I did try. So when we moved from the San Fernando Valley over to Oregon, like within 2 years, within a year, it was over. It blew up. We went from like a 3,000 square foot home, 4-bedroom house, to like a 2-bedroom apartment in Portland. Like, it was just not good. It was a recipe for disaster, really. So, Brad, he did a lot of good things, but he did a lot of things that were bad, But he would always wait to eat with me. He would always do whatever I needed, he would do. He would just do it. And he was very faithful that way, very loyal, and seemingly loyal, until I started having these dreams of him as a completely different person. He was like, in the dream, it was like him with some ugly Filipino chick, and what was it? It was like this ugly Filipino chick, and he's like, in the dream, he's like, hi, you're out, she's in, she's pregnant, there's nothing you can do about it. And I was like, what? And then there was another dream where he was helping me to move my furniture into my new apartment. And it was like 11 times I had a combination of those dreams, and I would talk to him about it, and he would just be like, oh no, that's the devil. That's the devil, Stupid me. God was trying to talk to me. I think he was cheating on me. I really do. And I think he had a little family on the side or something, and that's where all the money kept going, because we never had any money. It was ridiculous. So it just seems like a waste now. Like, I look back, I'm not even proud of what it was that we had together, because it was just never what it was supposed to be. And I don't know exactly who he was involved with, but he wasted my time, And I wanted to go travel to, Africa, Nigeria. I wanted to go places like to help the orphans and stuff like that. I wanted to go out there, and I couldn't go anywhere. No, you can't go here. No, you can't go there. And the kids are too young. And I'm like, let's bring the kids with us. No, we can't do that. And I couldn't do anything. We never went anywhere. The only time we ever had a family real trip was when Mackenzie had gotten leukemia when she was 8 years old, and her Make-A-Wish trip. We went to Orlando, Florida, and we went to the Make-A-Wish. We went to the resort out there, the Disney. So sad. So anyways, I was just mean. I was angry. I was, cussing all the time. I was just not loved. And it was just such a shame. And, it rubbed off on me with my kids. I was mean to my kids. I was angry. I was like overworked, never a vacation, like an indentured servant, right? So, and being Mexican American, we're kind of heavy handed. We grow up this way. You look at your mother the wrong way, she's going to pull your hair. She's going to pinch you. She's going to smack you or hurt you or something, or, it's just the way it is in Latino families. Hang on, guys. These kids are letting out their steam. I miss that. I would be the mother that would be up there playing with them. But anyways, not just the mother that sits down all the time. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Anyways, what else? Anyway, in summation here, in summary, I just regret marrying him. I regret having children with him. I regret being in that family. My kids ended up becoming like them. And I feel like I'm Obi-Wan and Skylar was Anakin, and I forget which movie it was, but remember the one where remember when Obi-Wan was there and there was like that river of like the lava and everything, and Anakin is losing, his legs are like burning off in the lava and everything, and Obi-Wan's like, Anakin, you were the chosen one. And Anakin's just like, F you, go to hell. That's what it was like. So my kids went to the dark side and they turned against me. They helped to frame me with my ex-husband. And there's all kinds of stuff. We were trying to have pets and stuff, and I was trying to make sure that the kids had everything that they needed. We got a pug one time, and it was older. It must have been like 3 months old. And this thing had never been trained in a crate or anything like that. And so this thing was just like a bullet all over the place. And so I had to put her into the cage, into the kennel. And so because she was so big, she must have been like about 15 pounds by then, and she was resisting, and I pushed her in, and I didn't realize that she had scratched her eye. Anyway, it was terrible, and it was like, why is she being so quiet? And then Brad's like, you're abusing the animals. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I didn't realize that. I mean, I was stressed, but I didn't abuse that animal. No. So it just went really bad. It's just like, it was always like really, the tension was thick, and then soon Brad and I, we stopped sleeping in the same bed together, and it was just like, it was awful. I was just basically living the life of a chauffeur, a chef, and, you name it, you guys. I did it. I did the landscaping, I did the roses, I did everything. And no one helped me. Brad would help, but my mother didn't help. My mother didn't help, his mother didn't help. I mean, my mother, Camille, she would come over, Camille Valencia. And as long as we had a swimming pool, she was there. But even still, she didn't really help. She was just like, just a taker, just a complete taker. And I just didn't realize. I didn't see everything for what it was at the time. So the day that I decided to end things with Brad, okay, we were at the Frank Estates in Southwest Portland, and it was 2019. And I had Mackenzie and Anthony. We had my grandson Anthony was with us. And I said, you guys go to the clubhouse. I'm going to start packing up your dad's stuff. So I had I was putting all of Brad's stuff out onto the front porch. I think Mackenzie told Skylar, and I think Skylar told Brad. And you guys, it was not a good scene at all. We had, it was like right before school started. And this is the backstory on that. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little bit jumpy here. I had Skylar going into high school, first year of high school. Mackenzie was going into her last year of middle school, and Anthony was just entering into kindergarten. And I said, Brad, we're going to need at least $1,500, $500 per kid in order to get them the basic amount of what they needed. Don't worry about that, babe. It's going to be fine. I got you, right? Well, he didn't. And it was days, like a week, 2 weeks before school started, and he was like, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. And, but I'm going to get the money. And then he kind of just like would just breadcrumb me. And finally, it's a week before school starts, and he's like, I don't have the money. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And my kids were like, Mom, when are we going to go shopping? And I didn't have any money up for my own because I just was fully invested in the family, and I should have. I didn't go to school. I didn't have a little job. I mean, it was a full-time job taking care of all those kids. So I lost it, you guys. I lost it. And Skylar was there, Mackenzie was there, and Mackenzie had just recovered from cancer, from her leukemia, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, the one that you can actually survive from. So Skylar's there, and she's being such a little bee, and she didn't get her period. She was like, it was really hard hormonally. Like, she didn't get her period like when everyone else was supposed to. She was 14 years old and get her period one month and then 4 months later. So she was a mess trying to have her first boyfriend. She was an emotional, like very unstable emotionally. I allowed her to have a boyfriend. His name was Oz, and he really messed her up, took what he needed from her spiritually. I don't think they had sex, and then just went off with her best friend. It was just not good. Skylar was not in a good place emotionally. And she was just tired of seeing the misery between me and her father, and she wanted to break us. She was like, let's shake it up and break it up, And instead of blaming it on her father, she chose to blame it on me. So we got into it, and it turned into like this type of a fight, type of a thing. And she kept saying, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. The truth came out that she actually had drank bleach, like shortly after we had arrived. She was locked up in the bathroom. She wouldn't let anyone in. And I was like, oh my God. So here she is over here saying that she wanted to take her life. And meanwhile, there's Mackenzie, who was on the bunk bed above. They had loft beds. There were 2 loft beds side by side. Mackenzie was on hers. And I'm like, how dare you say that you want to take your life like this when your sister has been fighting for hers? Anyway, it turned into a huge thing. And Skylar got up in my face, and she's like, fuck you, Mom, and all this. And I'm sorry, excuse my language, but it was just awful. And Skylar and I got into it, and then Mackenzie was quiet. And Skylar she's an actress, okay? She's been in theater. She's been singing since she was like 3. I was a theater mom. Danica was also an actress, and I was trying to help them with their careers and everything. But anyways, Skylar scratched herself up really bad on her chest, and she made it look like I had done that to her. I didn't have nails at the time, but she did. Anyway, she told the police that I was calling her a slut and a whore and all this. I know, it's so Jerry Springer. I'm so sorry. But I said, I would never I would never say that to my daughter, because I would always encourage her to hang on to her virginity, So Skylar was the mastermind. And Mackenzie, later, after everything was over with, she told me what happened. She's like, Dad didn't know what to do, so he asked Skylar, who was 15 at the time, 1-5, and he asked the 15-year-old what he should do. So, Skylar said, it's time for Mom to go to jail. We need to get her out of here. So I don't know if my kids were already in cahoots with his parents or what happened. I don't even know. But I ended up going to jail. And I was there, first time in my life. I was supposed to be 3 days. I ended up staying there for 3.5 weeks. I prayed for everyone. I'm like, okay, God, I'm facing a fear. I never wanted to go here. I've never been. So what do you want me to do? He's like, pray for the people. So I was praying for everyone. It was great. So when I got out, Brad got a call. Oh, your wife is out. She was only supposed to have been here for 3 days, but she was here for 3.5 weeks. Whoops, our bad. Washington County. I can't stand Washington County out here. They are one of the most prejudiced people. Like almost all the judges, they're all like old white men. Like seriously, old ones. There's no women. There's no diversity. There's none of that. It's just a far cry from what I'm accustomed to in Los Angeles, where you have, a beautiful display of judicial diversity. But anyway, I digress. I've seen Brad look at our daughters as they became to grow up and developing and everything, like checking them out, and I was like, what are you doing? When Mackenzie was going through her cancer, I had to give her like a sponge bath, and so I had to open her clothing, and he was staring at her when I had to clean her nether regions, her privates. He was staring at her vagina like as if he had never seen one before. I was like, what are you doing? You're acting like you've never seen a vagina before, Of course, he hadn't seen mine in a while because we stopped having sex. So then he started acting really creepy, like this weird, creepy, like trance, and he just was he refused to stop staring. And by then I knew that we were in really big trouble, right? So I was like, look, if you have a problem with pedophilia or something, or if you like little girls, you need to let me know. Let's get you some help, And he was like, oh no, there's no problem. So I don't know. I've had Skylar come and visit me, telepathically. And she told me that there was some weird stuff going on with him and Mackenzie. I don't know. I have no contact with them now. Again, I don't know if that was where that came from. I've had Anthony come and visit me in my mind, He's like, are you coming back, Mommy Nana? And I said, yes, of course, sweetheart, I am. They've just made it so hard for me. So, Susan Schneider, who is his Anthony's father's mother, I know that she's taken a great interest in taking care of Anthony. I'm so thankful. But again, they just wanted to block me from being a part of Anthony's life as well. Anthony is a high-functioning autistic child, and I'm one of his persons. I'm the closest thing that he'll ever have to his own natural mother. May she rest in peace, Danica. And his father, Sammy, he's passed on too. And I promised both of them that I would look out for Anthony. Well, I can't. So, now it's, making it look like I'm incompetent, like I'm a drug addict, all the things, right? Prostitute, oh, you can't be around Anthony. So I've got another legal case. I've got to deal with that one as well. So I haven't seen this. Is going on the 5th year. So time is just flying by so quickly, and people are like, well, how could you not, I don't know, you guys. It's just the first couple of years after I was divorced, I was just trying to figure it all out, and Danielle got her groove back, and I had to take time for myself. I tried to be able to be there for Anthony with phone calls and stuff, but it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't. It was a completely new life for me. Anyway, and then getting involved with Marcus, and then, time again, more time, just going, right? So now I'm looking into it and what I can do and everything, because at least I want Anthony to know that I did try to fight for him, And then there's my other grandchild, Ariel, who is with my mother, Camille. She came to visit me as well, telepathically. Are you my real grandmother? I'm like, yes, honey, I am. Do you love me? I said, yes, of course I do, Because there's weird stuff going on over here. And I'm like, honey, I know, I'm so sorry, Anyway, my psychic abilities are growing, you guys. My superpowers are activating. So it's like, I can hear from dead people. I can hear from other people telepathically. It's very cool. Different. Getting used to it. Anyway, so in conclusion with this whole thing, was it last year? Skylar had a quinceañera, and I wanted to have the most beautiful quinceañera for her. It's the Sweet 15 in Mexico. That's how they celebrate to honor our ancestry. And there's Skylar with her ginormous boobs being so pushed up. I mean, it looked like cosplay. It didn't even look like anything really ladylike and so it wasn't classy, just looked kind of trashy. And so he just Brad let her do it all on her own. It was like a theater production. So there's Skylar with her transgender girlfriend, and then there's Miko or Mackenzie, who, again, Brad didn't take care of her as he should have, and she was obese. Dressed like a guy, and there was 3 people there. And then you see Brad crowning her. It was just no family, no nothing. It was just 4 people. So So I said, what happened? Nobody even invited me to her quince? Are you kidding me? You could have. And they just like rubbed it in my face like that. And so I said, and this was via text. And Skylar had given me a birthday present, was it, I don't know, 2 years ago? And a beautiful letter. But the way she was talking to me was like as if she were my mother. And I wasn't having it. So I was gonna write her this beautiful letter to go back to her. And instead, Brad ends up texting me with some BS, and I think it was because Skylar was pushing. And I said, and then sent me tons of pictures. This is because I said I haven't seen any school pictures. I haven't seen anything. It's like I completely erased from my own children. So that's when I saw the pictures from the quinceañera. So I was just like, you know what? I'm really pissed. I'm like, how dare you? The least you could have done is email me pictures. I wasn't asking for much. And I didn't get any alimony or anything, and I should have. And I didn't get any of his retirement, and I should have. And I might still try to. Who knows? I didn't want anything from him. So I said, listen, I'm sorry. This looks like a really bad production. School production, theater production, high school production. No, excuse me, middle school production. This doesn't even look like a real quince. And it just looks like it's like a transgender type thing. I don't understand. There's no class here at all. And I'm not trying to come against the transgenders, okay? I love you guys all. I love everyone. Anyway, look at these guys. Let us go. That's right. Let us go. So to my haters, you heard them. Let us go. Let me go. And Brad, if you're watching this and if you are doing any type of black magic, doing some stuff to me that maybe nobody else knows about, it's time to let me go. I will never be with you again. No, it was a huge mistake. So, you guys, I wanted to end things with Brad, and I told Skylar this too. I said, hey, because she was like, so Mom, when are you and Dad going to get a divorce? I was like, gazoo, what? She's like, yeah. And then it was like, Mom, I'm ready to call CPS. I was like, really? Like, I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. Here we go. There they come. See, the protesting starts at a very young age here in Portland. It's so cute. Anyway, I went to go stay with some friends, Arrow and Paul. I'll never forget them and their family. And they had a son, and their son went to school with Skylar. Anyway, I stayed with them for about 8 months. They were so good to me and so kind to me. Their mother, Tita, may she rest in peace, they were so good to me. Taught me so much about unity with women here, women supporting women, what Portland was really about, not this competitive BS that we have, women competing against each other, so stupid, which is what I learned in Los Angeles, because you grow up with that. But out here, the women were different. It was like, hey, how can I help? Hey, sister, what's up? Suffragette City, anyone? Suffragette City! David Bowie, anyone? Anyway, Brad told them so many things. He said, the reason why I didn't let Danielle handle any of the money is because I didn't think that she was competent. My God. He has made me sound like such a creep and everything. So he was already smear campaigning me, even back then. So I know he's been in on this whole thing. So yeah, you got my star babies, right? You got the star babies. And you turned them evil. So I don't know. I really don't even have a desire to even go back in time at this point. But for my grandchildren, yes, I do. My own children threw me under the bus. Skylar did. Mackenzie didn't want to. Mackenzie said, no, I did. She said, Mama, let's give Mama a chance. Let's find out what's going on with Mama. Well, Mama was going through menopause. Mama was morbidly, I was obese then too. I was like 220 pounds. And I was morbidly depressed. And I didn't realize. And so I was just like off the chain. So I don't blame my children for wanting to end that situation, but at the same time, you don't do that to your parents. So for that, it's like I've forgiven them, but I will never trust them again. It's sad. I devoted so much of my life to them. I became a stay-at-home mama for them. Anyways, actually I became a stay-at-home mama for Danica, and then later on I chose to stay with the kids because I didn't want them to have a nanny or, be in daycare. It really hurts, you guys. And society looks at you like, oh, what's wrong with you? You don't have your children. What's wrong? Like, you guys, it doesn't always work out. And yes, kids will go to the dark side too. And yes, Freaky Friday, yeah, it can go seriously wrong. Seriously. So I just let them know that time after they had the quince and everything, I just really didn't want to see them. And when the kids get older, you want to find me? You can look me up. God can heal anything. But after such betrayal like that, I don't know. Again, my grandchildren, I want to leave a legacy for them. So, you guys, it's about all I've got for right now. It's getting really chilly out here, and these kids are getting loud. But if I need to follow up, I will. I really did love Brad. He just got weird and never came through on his promises, and just left me very frustrated and very, very much alone. It was just awful. No wife should ever go through something like that, ever. So, that's about all I've got. So until next time, be good. Be good. Stay blessed and keep the kingdom first. Mwah. Bye.